Hey everybody, we are here at the Nowhere compound for Cornhucket, and this guy that I'm with right here brought up his bike and was like, hey, check this out. And he's got so many unique parts on his bike that instantly I was like, yep, we gotta do a bike check. So we're here with Scuba Steve of Throne BMX, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's on your shirt. And we're gonna do a bike check, and it's a little more unique because he's got all these very unique parts on his bike that you made yourself, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's start at the top and work our way back. What do we got?
I mean, at the top, just Odyssey grips, you know, the Nowhere Tuck U bars with, I think they're 9.5 rise. And then we work our way down to a custom stem idea that I had. I wanted a high rise stem, but I kind of liked the idea of the wedge systems that the elementaries had. But I didn't like the fact that your handlebars were kind of locked behind having to take your whole stem off. So I came up with this wedge system design so that you could clamp your stem and get rid of the pinch bolts back here to, you know, so you're not banging your knees on the back of your stem, get a little bit more clearance, a little bit more rounded off. And then I could not tell you the rise on that thing. I just kind of designed it and, you know, it was kind of freestyled, like just one night, you know, threw it together. Then obviously we're down here on a very one-off Nowhere frame that is a custom 24-inch Nowhere frame with a 23.25 top tube, which is much larger than any of the frames that he offers. It was a very one-off custom thing that Carl did for me because I'm a much larger guy, and you know, he really wanted to help me out with getting on a much more solid bike.
And a note from Carl on this one. It's something they may offer in the future, but right now this is a one-off thing for Steve.
Yeah. And then I guess maybe to the front end, these are some standard forks. I used to rock a full standard custom build until Nowhere came along. I was able to get this custom frame. So I got some 24-inch forks from standard with front brake mounts because I do like to run brakes. I do not have brakes on currently because the new build I need to buy a whole lot of new stuff. I want a all new brake setup, so I'm gonna wait on that stuff. We've got some Odyssey rims on here, the hazard lights, and 24-inch. The tires, I believe they are S&M Kevlar tires in 24. I couldn't believe I found these. I was running some Odyssey tires before, and these were a pound lighter. They're like folding tires, but in 24s, which I've never even heard of. I was really happy to find these. Then down to the hub. That's a little dirty right now, but this is a custom front hub design that I did with internally lacing. I've seen a few hubs out there. I think Primo has the N4 front hub, has a similar design where the spokes actually lace from the inside of the hub out. And then I have a custom axle design on this hub that locks in the dropouts so that when you tighten or loosen your wheel, your axle isn't able to spin on you. This little tab that sticks out on both sides of the hub locks your axle in the dropout so it can't spin on you when you're tightening and loosening your wheel. So you don't have those issues where you got to loosen one side and then loosen the other, you know, tighten and loosen your wheel, which is really, really nice with the diameter of it, very, very small diameter hub, so that your pegs pretty much make it impossible to even hit your hub. I do have a design for hub guards that can go on here to replace these caps that go on. And then, you know, I've always had this fascination with hexagon style stuff, and I think there was like a specialized hub back in the day that had a hexagon pattern, so I did a hexagon pattern for that. And I know you guys just came out with a hexagon rear hub too that kind of matches all that. I got some custom made carbon fiber pegs that I did. It's aluminum, it's not full sleeve, there's aluminum end cap on both ends, and then I found the strongest epoxy that I could, 2-part epoxy, to bond the carbon fiber to the aluminum. And these things weigh next to nothing. And this is the first time I've put them on, so we'll see how well they hold up. Obviously not for grinding, more, you know, park use, technical stuff, maybe towards flatland stuff. Over here, to the bottom bracket, you know, shadow bottom bracket, and I've got some animal pedals. I can't remember the name of the pedals that they had, but we've got these custom cranks that I did, and this is the first time putting them on my bike. I just got done making these last week. They are full aluminum 70-75 crank arms, using a Primo tie spindle. And then I wanted to get rid of the pinch bolts that the Primos use that, you know, make the back end stick out pretty far, and then the pinch bolts that can kind of catch your pant leg as you're pedaling and, you know, bang up your ankles. So I wanted a much more smooth design. So I made this wedge system that clamps on from the inside in the middle of your crank arm onto the spindle. And so far it seems to hold really, really well. So I'm hoping that, that these really work out for you. I went without pedal bosses, at least for now. We're gonna see how that goes. I know it's, you know, hit or miss for what people's opinion are on the pedal bosses because they come loose sometimes. Then for the sprocket, this is a 23 tooth version of sprocket design that I came up with that I actually have here at Cornhucket for sale. I've got 25s, 28s in both 19 and 22 millimeters. Here's one of the 25s. Sprocket design changes a little bit as the design gets bigger and expands out for the different sizes, but for the most part, the general design is the same. If you can't tell, I kind of stuck with the whole hexagon thing, even with the sprocket. You know, I've got the Shadow. This is not the Supreme chain. This is just their half link chain. And then the rear hub, it's a rear hub that I've been rocking. This thing is sold. The Profile SS Mini with tie axle, tie nuts, tie driver, hub guard, and then I've just got a G-Sport peg back here because I actually do a little grinding on the rear end, so I didn't trust the carbon fiber peg back there for that. You know, same hazard rim and same front tires, that front one, the S&M. And then I guess for the seat, I'm just rocking, I don't even know, just some pivotal post. I don't even know what pivotal post it is, but a Deco seat. And the seat post clamp is an unnamed seat post clamp that I just had laying around. I'm planning on making my own here soon. So trying to basically get as much custom parts on the bike as possible. You know, I got into machining for a career because I like to make stuff and I like to make bike parts. Every time I saw a bike part, looked at it, I'm like, how can I make that, or how can I make that better or change it? You know, make things a bit more unique. And yeah, it's kind of, I think, all of everything on here, right?
Yeah, so you're working towards making these things. Obviously, you've done production run of sprockets at this point. So
yes.
What can people look forward to potentially seeing in the future from you?
In the future, I've already got the front hub done. I've got 5 prototypes out that a couple people are riding, testing those out. Been riding them for a couple years now, waiting till I finish the design for my rear hub, which is done and will be machined hopefully here in the next couple months, and then be testing that for a while. So, you know, maybe in the next year or two, we will have, you know, front rear hub set, crank arms. You know, obviously I've got sprockets. I have some ideas for some full guard sprockets, replaceable guards, seat post clamps, bar ends. The stem design, I might make a few tweaks to the design, and I think I would like to get a run of these stems done as well. I have a very unique design for a seat that still has a lot of work to do, but quite a lot of stuff here in the next few years. Definitely the crank arms and hubs.
Awesome, man. So where can people find that, and stay tuned to see that information when it comes out?
Right now it's just, you know, Throne BMX on Instagram. I do have thronebmx.com. I still have to work on the website, so I haven't put that up yet, but definitely the Instagram would be the best place to, you know, keep in touch and see what I'm posting. I try to post every time I'm, you know, making new stuff, and, you know, when I get stuff done, post it on there. So I try to keep that up to date as much as possible. So
awesome,
it's probably the best way to see what I got going on.
Cool, man. Well, thanks.
Alrighty.
Check them out, everyone, and hopefully you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more Cornhucket coverage and everything going on. Subscribe, yeah. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.